Here we go again. It's been a little while. I want to know, how are you now? I was just out walking the trails today, trying to set that intention like I do every day. I gotta do these things with my body to stay regular, and so I can, best serve the Creator that gave us this good life. And I began to stumble upon a lot of death, a lot of things, that were dead, and it was. Let me be clear, there were thousands of crows just weeks ago where I am in southern Ontario, and they for the most part seem to have flown off. There's still the normal amount of crows, but it's not excessive. And I go into the trail, and immediately, like within a few blocks, it just smelled like absolutely disgusting. Something. It was just. I didn't want to go anywhere near, but you pull it up and you don't have to smell it. And I was like, okay, it can't be fresh. It's obviously the smell of crow shit. Like, they've desecrated the woods, absolutely. So earlier in the walk, I was like, I should take some photos of this, but I wasn't gonna film because I honestly it was absolutely disgusting. I made it out where I was, somewhere much more fresh, where the light hits and where there's less trees, and because assumedly the crows shit everywhere because there were trees that they were all sleeping in. For one reason or another, I think it has to do with like population displacement for the most part, which is a result of man having cut down all these forests in southern Ontario. So the animals don't know what to do anymore. They have these like magnetic cycles, and they're like, oh shit, like where do we go? And they end up all flocking to the same place. So anyways, there's a lot of dead ones now, casualties. So I was just like looking at this one that I found on the beach. It's absolutely just devastating. Its head is like underneath the snow. Its feet are like cut off. I don't know what the hell people are doing in these woods and these parts. But there's seriously like. There's wreaths put up, like made of twigs. Like there's crows missing heads. There's crows with just their feet cut off. Like, what is happening in these woods? What is happening on this beach? There are definitely some weird people about, and it's hard to see them, when they're dressed like everybody else. When they fit in, when they just have this flawless persona to embody normality. How are you able to know who these people are that are cutting the fucking feet off crows? Pardon my language. I was playing this game called Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and in that game, they try to replicate some of the scenarios which would have occurred during the Viking Age, historically, whatever it is, like 700 to 1100 AD, and some of the things that they depict that, even just in the game, but to think about it, like these ritualistic, like cursed sites, just with corpses strewn about, like arranged in such a way that if somebody saw it, not only would they be like absolutely terrified by the sight and smell of a corpse, but the psychological aspect of knowing that it was like intentionally arranged, in whatever shape, and as somebody that really thinks like, why that shape. We all know that like shapes have character. Like we can see like a triangle, that's like the simplest one in 2 dimensions. It's like 3 represents some sort of wholeness in that dimension. 4 is like this weird number of completion. everything works in fours, like with music a lot of the time. That's probably the most like resolute time signature. And then you think about 5 is like the star, you know, and with equal length sides, the pentagram is the first shape to embed the golden ratio, you know, which mathematically defines our world. So it's strange to think like somebody can embed all this occult knowledge in some freaky scene, not only to activate the disgust and terror of the people who come upon it, but also to activate some sort of like, you know, questioning of the psychological underpinnings. And when people's reason fail, you know, when people are truly afraid, it can be a very sacred thing. You know, what truly do we fear in this world, you know, in our like understatedly complex, simple ways of being? Like, what are our fears? Do we even have fears? Or are we just not exposed to enough in the world to even know what we are truly afraid of? Disgust is somewhat of an indicator of fear. I felt today, I'm just speaking from the heart here, but like the smell of death in the air, there's something in the body that says, get out of here. Like, this is a weird place to be. It's probably bad for your health. You know, you can tell just breathing the fucking, pardon my language again, you can tell just breathing the toxic fumes. It's a very, very strange thing. And then to see like an absolutely mutilated like corpse of a crow, you're like, holy, like, it's absolute, you know, head just torn. And I'm not saying that people did it, but like, it's likely that the crows had a battle up there and, you know, territory war. One of them just got killed, and on the ground maybe a fox or some off-leash dog just grabbed it and ripped it apart. So I probably won't be filming when I walk back through those dense parts, but we'll see if I can add a little addendum onto the end of this video just to show exactly how screwed up it is, you know? The crows specifically, like, they call a pack of crows a murder. They're literally murdered crows all over the place. And like, they're messengers of death. In Norse mythology, the crow carries the soul to the afterlife. I think they're, you know, the 2 crows, the 2 ravens that belong to Odin. It's like memory and wisdom, I think, is how it translates. I might be wrong on that, but the crow's a very dark symbol. It seems like sometimes it's extraordinary though. Like, I don't want to say it's inherently dark. Like, for example, I might be able to put some crow footage up on my channel pretty soon, because I got quite a bit over the last couple months. It's extraordinary. That's what it is. It's like this hidden thing too, because you go out here and there's no one. I don't know if it's too cold for people or what, but you just see these incredible things sometimes. It's as if these sites are just yours to behold, just for being curious, for having time. We're not that far out in nature at all. Anyone, you know, from the trailhead in town could get to where I am like fairly quickly. So I just find it very, very amazing sometimes. Even the fear can be just awe-inspiring. I guess there's something very sacred about being afraid. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see if I can create that addendum at the end just so you can get an idea of the crows. Until next time, That's everything.